So this is the self-development with tactics. Book.
So, this is actually the second time I'm starting this episode right now, and I still don't know what it is all gonna be about, but it's gonna be valuable. I at least hope that it is going to be valuable. I really do. I really do. But yeah, I see you after the intro, I guess, as quite always. Or actually, as always, it's always the exact same thing. See you after the intro. The amazing intro. But yeah, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast, A pretty good transition into what I'm often forgetting about saying, which is there is a podcast and there's also the YouTube video. Therefore, if you're just really enjoying the YouTube video, it's definitely a good thing to also subscribe to the podcast. I'm really sorry. Why? Why is this a good thing? Why is this smart? Why is this just great? Because it is really time saving or time efficient, because you can listen to this exact same episode theoretically just I'm very sorry. I've just been eating some nuts before, and yeah, I think it was the wrong pipe. It was more like my lungs and not my gut. But yeah, the thing is, if you're willing to consume this exact episode, you can also consume it as an audio-only version, as a podcast. And it is amazing because you can listen to it wherever you are, whenever you want to, and whatever. It's just amazing. While you're walking your dog, while you're just playing tennis, while you're doing something, you're able to just consume the episode, which is amazing, which is really amazingly insane. And I really like that. I love that. It's great, for all those people that would be interested in actually consuming my content. It is amazing. It really is just amazing. But yeah, I'm just currently on the jamesclear.com website because it is normally like my go-to website. Like, it really is my go-to website. When I don't know what I should be doing, it is basically like, okay, let's check out the jamesclear.com website and see if there's any article that I haven't gone through yet, because it seems actually to be the case that I went through 90% of all the articles he wrote, which is definitely quite insane, to be honest, because there's a lot of articles. There's really quite a lot of articles. But they all are great, It is a pretty funny thing. There are so many articles, and still, I think his website is just relatively old. So it's not really like, okay, he has been just writing his articles for 2 years or something. I guess it is more like 6 or 7 or something. I at least assume. I really at least assume. But yeah, I'm gonna show you. Even though I have actually shown off his website before, but it is just a great website. It is just a really great website, and I hope that I'm gonna find an article while browsing through, and then I'm gonna talk about this article, just because I wanted to start this episode as quickly as I possibly can, because I'm having to do something different today as well, and I'm a little bit in a hurry, unfortunately. I don't like that. It is a little bit fucked up, to be honest, because it's like, I'm really in a hurry, to be honest. I really am. Well, I really don't like that, especially because I had no choice, basically, to some degree. But yeah, it is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. It is what it is. Am I too dark? I think a little bit. I'm just gonna turn on my ceiling light, or whatever it is actually called. I don't know. It is one of the simple vocabulary that I do not know, or have, or whatever, gathered. Whatever it is. But yeah. Now we are having some more light. Some more light that is somehow shining into my face, but somehow also not. But yeah. Let's actually see if we can find an article. Because, every single day, I'm watching for articles, or I'm looking for articles. And it is really often like, okay, I can't find anything, because I think that, these articles aren't good enough. I think there's no value in them, and many more things that I'm thinking about. And also, is this just something interesting for me? Is this making me happy? is this making a good episode for me as well? Because I do not really want to go through something that I'm not quite interested in, because I think people can really notice, and I've been speaking about it yesterday in the episode. I really believe that people can notice when somebody is just not interested in what they're doing, or somebody is not passionate about what he or she is doing. I think people can really, really sense that. It's actually pretty incredible, maybe in a negative case or maybe in a negative way, but people just notice, People just notice shit. It is really what it is, But the thing is, it is also good on the other hand, just because it's like, okay, if there's somebody that is just bullshitting around and he or she actually doesn't know anything and everything is just bullshit and whatsoever, they notice it. They notice the bullshit. At least I believe in that. I really believe in that. But yeah. But let's actually see if we can find an article relatively quickly right now. I'm just thinking about something. I'm thinking about something the downside of work-life balance. Well, yeah, there's actually something relatively interesting, I have to say. Work-life balance, just because work-life balance is just such a trendy thing nowadays, isn't it? It is like really one of the words or one of the phrases or whatever that is so dominant or has been so dominant in the past. I think I especially have noticed it in the past few months, to be honest. It is really not such an old thing, but I've just seen it coming up, and I've rather seen people just being like, okay, work-life balance is just some bullshit, or work-life balance, like such a trendy word. So I think, as far as I can actually remember, it is more like I've been just encountering the word work-life balance or the phrase work-life balance more in a negative way than in a positive one. I still believe, and I still know, and I still think that there's just a positive connotation to it as well. And it is not only just negative just because it is trendy right now, but the thing is like, yeah, it is such a trendy thing. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody is just being worried about it and whatsoever. It is really funny that sometimes just those things come up out of nowhere, and they just actually have been a case for quite a really, 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 really long time, but nobody was talking about it. Maybe because it is unnecessary. In this case, I'm not talking about some other things that are really good, like, I don't know, Me Too and all the other things that we have been encountering, or we have been having in the last few years. It is good, just actually leading attention or just giving attention to some things that really have to be talked about, like mental health and whatsoever, is really important. I really liked it, and I really believe that this is something that we should just be doing. It is good. It's a good thing, but yeah, I don't know. The thing is, it's the same thing with privacy as well. Everybody's talking about privacy, but in the end, nobody cares about it. Because if you really care, as Seth Godin, for example, also said, then just don't use the internet. And because you've used it, probably, people already know where you are, who you are, and whatsoever. And you shouldn't also use any credit cards, because people could actually see where you are. Maybe you shouldn't even use a car. If there is some system on your freeways, that actually scan your, I don't know what it is actually called, your plate. Is it only plate or something? So they just scan your plate, and then just because, on some freeways, at least in Europe, you have to pay for just being on them, you can just pass through this gate and everything is fine, because you do just have just this paid service thing, which is actually somehow attached to your plate, and then you can just rush through the gate and everything is fine. The thing is, they know where you are. They just know it. The exact same thing with those really big cars. I don't know, I think trucks they are called. I don't know, like companies use them to just, I don't know, ship quite everything nowadays. Yeah, I think you know what I mean, but everybody knows where all these fucking trucks are. It is just what it is. Like, it is really interesting in the end. It is just a really interesting concept and thing that people are really concerned about just privacy and concerned about, okay, I do not want the CIA to just know who I am and whatever, I don't know. But in the end, it is like, well, it's pretty tough, I guess, to do that. It's pretty tough to not be seen in this world, to not be known in this world, to not be just, recognized by governments in this time. Yeah, I at least guess, this is actually impossible, isn't it? Because at least the state you're living in right now, they just know everything about you, isn't it the case? Isn't it the case? But yeah, let's actually see what he's talking about there in this good little article. So the downside of work-life balance. One way to think about work-life balance is with a concept known as the four burners theory. See, here's how it was first explained to me. Imagine that your life is represented by a stove with 4 burners on it. Each burner symbolizes one major quadrant of your life. The first burner is family. The second one is friends. The third one is health. And the fourth one is work. The 4 burners theory says that in order to be successful, you have to cut off one of your burners. And in order to be really successful, you have to cut off 2 of them. I actually expected something different. I expected something like, okay, if you want to have all burners, then you have to do X or something like this. But I haven't really just seen this coming, which is good and bad, I assume. Yeah, it's good and bad. So 3 views of, of the 4 burners. My initial reaction to the 4 burners theory was to search for a way to bypass it. I think, it is actually something that people in general do. We're always searching for shortcuts. We're always searching for things to make things easier, which, might be an example for just shortcut, or shortcut might be an example for that. And I don't know, we're always searching a way to make everything as pleasant and or as good and as nice and as convenient as we can get it, I guess. I don't know, maybe this is just us by nature, because it would make sense to be just really efficient with the energy and whatsoever. It just, it makes sense, It just really makes sense, I have to admit that. The thing is, sometimes it's really not the case, sometimes it isn't working like that, Sometimes, especially if it is about succeeding or success in general, you do just have to put in the work, no matter if it is just really efficient or not, we have to put in the work, Also sufficient, not in terms of, okay, are you working sufficiently, and or just is the work that you're doing just efficient, not sufficient, but efficient, but also okay, is the time that you're spending on it just worth it? Because often we don't know, first of all, and second of all, most of the time it is okay, if you want to be successful in something, you gotta have to put in the time. And also then, just because you put in the time, you're also gonna sacrifice some other things. I'm sacrificing my leisure time. The problem there is, or the quote-unquote problem there is that my leisure time is worth nothing. It is worth absolutely nothing, because in my leisure time, I was watching YouTube videos. I'm still watching YouTube videos in my leisure time, but I'm not having as much leisure time as I had before. At least as just, I don't know, it depends on how you consider or what you consider being leisure time. Because the thing is, I like to do the podcast. I like to produce the content for every single platform there is. I just like that, it is something that I really enjoy. Every single day when I'm waking up at 5 or 6 or whenever I'm waking up and I'm not eating something, for breakfast, but I'm relatively heading to my PC and I'm starting to work on the content, on producing content. Hello. So it is working again. It is working. The thing is, what is the thing? I don't remember the thing, I'm sorry. I don't remember the thing. The thing is, I assume that it is going to be about something different, but I think I actually started to read, wasn't I? 3 views of the 4 burners. My initial reaction to the 4 burners theory was to search for a way to bypass it. Can I succeed and keep all 4 burners running? I wondered. And no, you can't, I guess. Perhaps I could combine two burners. What if I lumped family and friends into one category? Maybe I could combine health and work. I hear sitting all day is unhealthy. What if I got a standing desk? Now I know what you're thinking. Believing that you will be healthy because you bought a standing desk is like believing you are a rebel because you ignored the fastened seatbelt sign on an airplane. But whatever. Soon I realized I was investing these workarounds because I didn't want to face the real issue. Life is filled with trade-offs. If you want to excel in your work, in your marriage, then your friends and your health may have to suffer. This is what I've been talking about before in terms of sacrificing things. There's always going to be some sacrifice. Hopefully it's not going to be your health. I really hope that it is not going to be your health. But the problem is, what should you sacrifice then? There's not a lot of things left. And this is, I think, the problem there. I think this is the real big issue there. As they say, you have marriage or just your family, your friends, your work, and then your health. The thing is, I assume that you're willing to just, be good at work. You want to have a good job. You want to have just, at least, this is what I want. This is what I'm willing to have. This is what I'm willing to do. The thing is, there might be some people that are valuing family really, really high, family and friends. To be really honest, for me, it is just not such a big thing. To be really honest, it is how I don't know why. I really don't know why, but especially family is really not such a big thing for me. I really don't know why. I just actually thought about it, why it is the case. But family has always been just something that is okay, this is something that can suffer. This is something that I can sacrifice, even though it might not be the best idea, and even though it might not be really, really what you want to do, because the thing is, everyone's different. Everyone's thinking about different things, and everyone is valuing some different things. For me, it just might be family. For you, it just definitely could be work. Work for some people isn't just really that important. For me, it is. For me, it is really something that I'm passionate about, that I like to do, that I'm to be good at. I like to be successful at work and whatsoever. And for some people, it might be their marriage. For some people, on the other hand, it might be totally friends, and they just really give a fuck about their family and maybe also about their health. Because they're drinking all day long and they're going to party all the fucking day long just because of their friends, just because they value their friends so high, and maybe just getting drunk. But that's not a burner, this is this is the whole problem there. The whole problem is, the whole problem about this whole concept is that there is no drinking burner. If we all had a drinking burner, everything would be just amazing. We all would be happy. We all would not have any, never mind. Never ever mind. So where did I stop? So if you want to excel in your work, in your marriage, then your friends and your health may have to suffer. If you want to be healthy and succeed as a parent, then you might be forced to dial back your career ambitions. Of course, you are free to divide your time equally among all four burners, but you have to accept that you will never reach your full potential in any given area. Essentially, we are forced to choose. Would you rather live a life that is unbalanced but high performing in a certain area? Or would you rather live a life that is balanced but never maximizes your potential in a given quadrant? And I just really see the issue there. That you have to sacrifice something. This is the whole point. You have to sacrifice something, and it is really not easy to choose what it is going to be. Even though I think it is a really subconscious process, it's going to be okay, I'm sacrificing family, because I've never ever valued family so high, and this is the reason why, I'm just quote unquote giving a fuck about it, Just really feels a little bit bad to say that, just because I know that there's a lot of people that value just family really, really, really high, but I also know people that just don't value family that high, maybe it just really comes up to how you're interacting with your family. If you have been just on family vacations quite often. And if not, yeah, I don't know, I could assume that there's not such a good chemistry between you and your parents, for example, or you and your siblings, for example. So there's definitely a lot of quadrants. Not quadrants, but definitely a lot of variables and also factors that could lead to just you choosing a quadrant or you choosing a burner. But as I said, I really believe that it is something that is relatively subconscious and not really like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice my health because I am really willing to die. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Maybe we're not sleeping enough because we're willing to just be successful at work, and in the end it is hurting our health. It is what happened to me. I'm such obsessed with health and just feeling good and feeling healthy and being just in good shape and whatever. I'm really obsessed with that. I haven't been eating something sweet in 3 fucking years. I'm really serious about that. The thing is, do I really value sleep a lot? No, I don't. I really don't. I'm actually just sleep depriving myself. And I know I shouldn't be doing that. I know it isn't really healthy. And I know that sometimes I'm feeling not that good, at least in the really early morning. Then when the day has been a day, I'm feeling good, because I've done quite a lot, So something that I'm also seeing there as I'm just thinking about it is that, well, the mental game and also your just physical game might be on different burners or might be set to different burners. Your mental game is maybe just set on success in your work life. But your body is definitely not just really willing to just, suffer, I guess. Therefore, it's more on the health side. And then there's a contradiction. And then there's the thing like, okay, as I said, okay, you're going to sleep deprive yourself because you want to work more. But in the end, maybe your body says like, well, it is not a good idea. I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling healthy. You should definitely not be doing that. So yeah, it is definitely a really fucked up thing. And definitely a really, really, really problematical and definitely also just difficult thing to decide. But yeah, I think this is going to be it with this episode just because I am a little bit in a hurry. There's going to be a second episode. But yeah, maybe it's going to be a pre-recorded one because I have 2 left or just left over or whatever it is. But yeah, I wish you the best health, of happiness and also success. And I also hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you going to be, what the fuck is going on? How you're going to be remembered. So basically your legacy, because we totally can shape it, we totally can form it. And yeah, no matter how nice you are, there's still going to be someone that doesn't like you. It is what it is, something that I do just want to point out because, I don't know, I just don't want people to be unhappy, I guess, or something like that could be the thing. I don't know. Also think about your purpose, and some questions that might help you with that are, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to change? And what pisses you off the most? If there's something that really pisses you off, then maybe there's a new business idea that is born just right at this moment. And or you're finding your purpose. You're finding something to just fight against or fight. It might also be both, like just your purpose and also a new business idea or business venture. But yeah, I really have to thank you for being on the podcast and or being on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you've liked it to the YouTube and to the podcast. And rate it, rate it however you want. If you've enjoyed the episode, it would totally be nice if you just leave a like. If you didn't like it, then just leave a dislike, if it is what it is. For the podcast, it would be nice if you rate it. It would really mean the world to me. But yeah, I'll hopefully see you the next time and see you soon.